Hello to a new video of the Sauber-Mercedes C9 built up in scale 1:24 as a slot car. My name is Michael Niemas and I invite you to dive with me into the next step of this very interesting model car. I decided to show the video as a time-lapse because the whole process of preparing and polishing took me nearly 1 day, so something about 10 hours. Okay, but let us talk about what we see here. You see me sanding the whole body with wet sanding paper and water. I dip the sanding paper into the water, sand a little bit, and then I take a cloth to wipe off what I have sanded away. Here you have to be very careful not to go through the clear coat, otherwise you will damage the base paint and it would look quite awful. What is very hard to see here, and especially if you don't took your attention about it, is that I do a cross-directional sanding. That gives the best result at the end to flatten out the surface. After I have sanded the complete body with a 2000 grit, I step up to 2800, then 4000 and then a grit of 5000. And the higher it gets, the easier the sanding will be. The result that I wanted to achieve is exactly what you can see now. The body looks a little bit, or what means a little bit, looks flat painted, but it's all through sanding. It's very smooth, a kind of silky touch, looks already good, but now we have prepared everything to start with the polishing. There are different methods of polishing, including manual polishing with cloths and compounds, as well as machine polishing using rotary or orbital polishers. For me, the choice of method depends on the material and the desired level of shine. And what's also very important, we are polishing a plastic body. So we have to take care that everything doesn't get too hot. And that's also the reason why you see me doing this polishing job by hand with a cotton cloth and not with a polishing machine. By the way, I can tell you from my experience that I have the best results with cotton cloth instead of microfiber cloth. This is what I'm doing now for the next few hours, and when I am at the final step, I will be back. Here I am again, and now I go over the whole body with a wax polishing compound that I have mixed by myself, and this is very enjoyable because now the result will be very visible, and yeah, it's not so far anymore. On this point, I would have a question for you. In your opinion, how much polishing is right for such a model? As we know that the real race cars of that time never had such a perfect paint as this model, for example. By the way, you can see now at the video that I start also to clean the gaps where polishing compound very often sits in, and that's very hard to remove. When I'm editing this video right now and I'm looking at the work that is going into this, I think I have to say that the balance is key here. So the polishing for sure enhances the surface finish and removes imperfections from the painting if you have some dust in the clear coat or something like that. But generally it gives the model a very professional look. But if you want to try this at home, too much polishing definitely can damage delicate details, and you have to be careful, especially at the edges. The right amount of polishing depends on the material and the type of paint or coating that was used, and for sure the desired effect. Here I used 2K clear coat, and this kind of paint is very strong and resistant. But if you're doing this at home and you use a 1K clear coat, you have to be much more careful when doing the polishing. It will be much more easier to polish because the paint is not as hard as 2K clear coat, but due to the fact that it's softer, very fast you can go through the paint. In most cases, light to moderate polishing after the final clear coat is ideal to achieve a smooth, glossy finish. My tip: polish just enough to enhance the finish, but never so much that you risk damaging your model. If you want to watch more about this project, this 1:24 scale Sauber-Mercedes C9 slot car, I have created a playlist with all of the videos. So we have there part 1 where you see the rough fitted car, we have part 2 where I start decaling and detailing and painting. Now this is part 3, it's the surface preparation, the clear coat, and at part 4 I will show you how to do the wheels. Part 5 is also in the making, and finally, and this is what I'm really looking for, will be the test drive on the Nimas Race Cars wooden racetrack. At this point, I jump to the end of this final step, and I'm very excited to show you now the final result. Ta-da! Here is the ready polished body. Yeah, a little bit of dirt here and there. I have to wash this off. I will do this with water later. But for now, we can see what's the effect. I would enjoy it a lot if I get a feedback from you, what you think about the work, or if you have any questions about how to do it. Just leave me a comment, please give the video a like, subscribe to my channel, and we see us in the next video. Your Michael.